Hello. How you doing?
Hello, is this Dazzle?
Yeah, it's Dazzle.
Yes, how you doing? I want to know if I can book a reading or if you're available for a reading.
Yes, always. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I think my baby father's sleeping with the girl next door.
What?
And yes, because she always looking at me funny. She never really speak. But every time I'm with him, it's like she speak and be giggly, like doing this like a side eye thing. I think it's like a woman's intuition thing. He say I'm tripping, but I know I'm not. She don't do nothing for me, nothing for my kids. And the other day, I found like a Gucci receipt in his armrest, and just coincidentally, she had like some
Alright, we're
Gucci
gonna
shoes.
figure. Hello, everybody. It's your girl Dazzle That Tarot, and I'm back for another tarot reading. Let me show y'all me. Let me put some lip gloss on first, y'all. Let me show y'all me real quick. Okay, so all right. Had to put some lip gloss on. Anywho, hello, everybody. It's your girl Dazzle That Tarot, and I'm back for another tarot reading. So please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I upload and when I go live. And if you would like to book a private reading, all you have to do is go into the description box. And just a public service announcement. It's for a particular person who emailed me for a reading. I just send your email, and when I get off here, I'm going to send you the prices and stuff like that. So, back to it. So, without further ado, I think we're on day 13 or something like that with the Pdiddy trial. And they are still cross-examining the Jane Doe witness, Maya, right? And basically, it was crazy. It was more so like, they was really holding her feet to the fire and this, that, and the third. But it's a few things I wanted to ask about Mia. So I'm going to go ahead and ask these questions. And I'm going to be using the True Emotional Oracle cards, right? And the Love and Money Oracle cards. And we're going to see what we get from it, right? Because it's apparent that she was being shady, or, she wasn't really being truthful about certain things. So my first question is, point blank period, did this witness, this Jane Doe Mia, and she is a white woman, Tasha K exposed her, who she really is. She was an ex-assistant, and also with her, it was crazy because she had claimed that P. Diddy raped her, and the whole thing is, and abused her and things like that. And the whole thing is, with the cross exam, they're like really like banging on how she kept in contact with Diddy years and years after she worked for him, and was still trying to make contact with him and things like that. And they were like, well, if you are supposed to be so terrified of him, why do you keep reaching out to him? And mind you, he's not making contact. She's making contact with him, right? So that's what they was on. So my whole thing was, and then if you see my other readings, I told you, I don't think it doesn't feel like rape. It feel like y'all was having sex, consensual sex, drunk, high, whatever. But I will give it this: if you were under any influence while having sex, technically you can't consent. So technically you can still skate that as in, sexual assault if you want to. I mean, I get it, whatever. So let's go ahead and ask this. Because even in the pictures of Mia, when they doxed her actual face, she had like a side of her head shaped like Cassie, and I don't know. And then it's like she was going above and beyond for Diddy, right? So it's this whole thing of, did she want to be Cassie? Because Armand Wiggins said all the girls wanted to be Cassie and Cassie wanted to be Kim Porter. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know, did she want Cassie's fat, on Diddy's arm? Did she want to date Diddy? Did Mia want to date Diddy? Let's ask this. Did she want to date him? Is some stuff coming out? Okay. Workplace affair. and married in the reverse. So I think they were having, like I said, they were having an affair. But did she want to be the main girl? Give me some energy. Did Mia want to be the main girl? Did she want to replace Cassie? 1, 2, 3. Workplace affair coming out. So they did do something. There was something. The back of this is memories. So she has a lot of memories, okay? Queen Bee. She wanted to be Queen Bee, right? She wanted that position, and she got fed up about it. Divine Feminine. She felt like she was the one for him. She felt like, you know, she was sending out her aura to him. Like, yes, I'm your girl. I'm better than her because guess what? I will rise to the occasion. I'm the real deal. All right. And then moving on, letting go, loving you. Moving on, letting go, loving you, free. So she was in love with Diddy, right? So I got that together. And there's memories. There's a lot of memories of loving Diddy. So I think that his assistant was in love with him. I think they had they had an affair, and then all that good stuff. So yeah, that's what she was on. You know, she butt hurt because of that, and obviously because she lost her opportunity, right? So then I seen some people in this comment section on memes make it make sense. And, you know, they was talking about how, you know, she kept having her head down when she was giving her testimony. And, you know, some people took it as she was lying and other people took it as it's her trauma. And, you know, it was a lot of like psychological buzzwords, you know. And, you know, at this point, I really do feel like if we're going to go with the trauma narrative, because everyone has trauma, I think that everybody in jail should be free. Okay? I'm so serious. Like, I feel like if we're going to go with the trauma narrative, if I decide to go outside and fuck a bitch up, I shouldn't get locked up because I have trauma that's triggering me that is, I'm just blowing up. No. To me, I feel like it was motivated. They were going back to Diddy because they were motivated to do so because of the lifestyle and things like that. That's what I pick up on and things like that. They liked the lifestyle. They wanted to keep the lifestyle. They wanted to keep the clout. That's what it was. Okay? And, you know, they accepted and put up with his atrocious behavior. That's what they did. So there's a couple of comments that was like, her not facing anyone in the court shows she deals with trauma with avoidance. That's also how she dealt with the physical and verbal assaults. She pretended it didn't happen so she wouldn't have to face it. So my thing is, let me ask this. Let me get some energies of why she kept putting her head down in courts. Right? And what was, give me some energy surrounding that. She wouldn't look him in the eye. She kept putting her head down. One person says it's trauma and avoidance. The other person says that's because she's not standing on her shit and she's lying. So let's figure it out. What was it? 1, 2, 3. Secluded, separation, reflecting, soul searching. Okay, so let's see. She had been separated from him, running in the reverse, and Jezebel. And she, oh God, okay. So I get it. She was trying to, okay, but see, when they're running, you see this couple running away, it's not happening, right? This is a couple running away together, right? You see their backs. They're running this way. They're doing this. She thought that that's what they were going to do, right? That's what she wanted. but she didn't get that. So she has this Jezebel spirit. And I just be trying to tell y'all what the Jezebel spirit does. So since tarot calls her a Jezebel, I'm gonna just give y'all a quick recap of what a Jezebel is. Because that's what she is. She's a Jezebel. And then not only that, she told nobody about the sexual assault, right? Not even the prosecutors, okay? And to make it so bad, she never told Cassie. So Cassie's just finding out about the alleged sexual assault, which means that it may or may not have been consensual, but that's supposed to be your girl. You were supposed to tell her. So now she can have the notion of, yeah, you fucked my man. You know? But she has a Jezebel spirit. So let me go ahead on and put in Jezebel spirit. She got a Jezebel spirit on her. Okay? Okay, the Jezebel spirit is a term used in some Christian circles to describe a person who exhibits traits and behaviors associated with the biblical figure of Jezebel. It is generally considered to be a spirit of manipulation, control, deception, and rebellion against God and legitimate authority. Key characteristics. Now, this girl might be manipulative or controlling, which is a person influenced by the spirit will use manipulation and deception to gain power and control over others. So if Diddy was doing that, okay, she was doing that too. That means that Jezebel was just jumping from body to body in Diddy's circle. It was all demonic. It was all bad. Rebellion against authority. They resist legitimate leadership and may seek to undermine those in position of authority. False teacher and idolatry. I said idolatry. Idolatry. False teaching and idolatry. They promote beliefs and practices that are contrary to biblical truth, often leading others away from God. Sexual immorality. Jezebel's actions and influence in the Old Testament are often linked to sexual sin, and in Revelation, a woman named Jezebel is accused of leading people into immorality, arrogance, and self-importance. They may exhibit pride, a sense of superiority, and a refusal to acknowledge the contributions of others. Okay, so whatever it is that she got going on, she got it with Jezebel, okay? She got it going on. She was manipulating people in that courtroom, and she practiced using those buzzwords. And no. There was no rape, boo. It was just regular dick sucking and fucking, okay? That's what that was. So they wrapped up the cross-examination with Miss Maya. Hopefully they have a better witness next time, because it just looked like she was out for some selfish, vindictive stuff, right? Not just out here to just say what she witnessed and get the fuck on. She wanted to sit there and add extra sauce on stuff that she didn't have to add, okay? Because it's obvious that he is a damn Jezebelian fucking demon from Tartarus. Okay, it's obvious that he has exhibited those signs. You don't have to put extra sauce on it. Just say what you saw and get the fuck. Say what you experienced. Say what you saw and get the fuck. You don't have to put in extra stuff. So now we can get to Jay-Z and his CEO of Rock Nation, Desiree Perez. Okay, so first of all, Desiree Perez has a daughter, right? And what's happening is her daughter has filed a civil suit against her mama, right? For meddling into her marriage as far as getting her husband locked up under false accusations, basically getting her put into a psych ward for 2 weeks, and basically using her power and influence and money to basically illegally do a whole bunch of stuff, illegally record in her home and all types of stuff, right? But here's the tea, and I'm gonna let you guys listen to this, and then I'm gonna give y'all the tea, right? Because this is the problem with the news. They don't tell you everything sometimes, right? So after I listened to the initial thing, I was like, oh my God, they were right about Rock Nation and this, that, and the third. But then I went over to Conscious TV and actually listened to the actual court filings and everything that was going on. And I was like, see, that's why I don't like vloggers and bloggers and things like that in the media, right? Social media and stuff, because they don't tell you everything. You would think that Desiree Perez is totally fucked up, but then when you look at it, you like, what? But I'm gonna let y'all hear it, okay? So let me go ahead and do this, because I saved it so y'all can hear it. Because this is I mean, it's sad, for real. It's actually sad. That's the crazy part. But here you go. I'm gonna let y'all hear the initial thing.
A South Florida woman is taking legal action after she says she spent nearly 2 weeks in mental health institutions for no legitimate reason.
She claims in a recently filed lawsuit that it was all orchestrated by her own mother, and others who should have protected her failed her.
NBC6 investigative reporter Amy Viteri has her story.
So legally, I can go home.
No, you cannot.
Why?
Because you're being Baker active.
Body camera video shows the moments Broward deputies encouraged Demore Hadley to get into this pickup truck with people she says she didn't know.
I can't ride with you and you guys take me?
You're going to be in handcuffs, so dog's not going to be able to come?
I don't want to be in handcuffs.
Okay.
Demore says they took her to a hospital for a mental health evaluation after this doctor signed paperwork saying she was a risk to herself.
What he told me was, we received a call from your family that you tried to OD the night before.
A doctor she says she'd never met before. And according to Demore, it's her own mother who's behind it. In this lawsuit, she claims her mother, Desiree Perez, used unlawful means to have Demore falsely detained under Florida's Baker Act and Marchman Act.
So she's the CEO of Rock Nation, a company that she owns along with Sean Carter, the famous rapper Jay-Z.
The complaint alleges a conspiracy, saying Perez used her money, power, and influence to tear apart Demore and her husband, Javon Hadley, and created an enterprise of individuals to effectuate her plot.
To essentially try to separate me from my husband and to falsely accuse him of domestic violence.
Perez has repeatedly denied these allegations in court filings. A month before Demore filed her complaint, we found her mother filed her own lawsuit against Demore's husband, Javon, citing evidence Perez says he has abused her daughter for years, something the couple has denied in court records. In that lawsuit, Desiree Perez says she moved to Baker Act her daughter, fearing she was at risk of suicide and abusing prescription drugs.
I haven't seen anything in my entire 20 years of practicing law that is so clear that someone did something wrong.
Attorney Hilton Napoleon is representing Demore in the lawsuit, which claims Perez harassed the couple for years, including making unfounded claims to get Javon arrested on multiple occasions for battery and domestic violence, charges prosecutors did not pursue.
The state attorney's office wrote a 11-page scathing closeout memoranda, which basically said that her mother made false allegations to the police.
In this closeout memo, a prosecutor with the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office cites Demore's lack of cooperation and raises concerns about some of the evidence and how it was obtained. The prosecutor also wrote Demore was wrongfully Baker Acted last year, something her mother's attorney disputes in this letter, challenging many of the memo's other conclusions.
I have 3 different collateral sources of information that say that she's been acting psychotic, that she threatened to overdose yesterday.
Demore's lawsuit alleges her mother conspired with prominent psychiatrist Dr. Daniel Bober, seen here in body camera video, and others to have Demore committed for a mental health evaluation. Bober cites supporting evidence from her family and diagnosed Demore with an unspecified psychosis. He ordered she be taken to Memorial Regional Hospital, where he is chief of psychiatry, and where results from drug tests taken upon admission were negative, according to records Demore shared with us.
They told me your tox screens came out negative, and I go, I know. I don't do drugs.
In a statement, Dr. Bober's attorney said Demore was placed under the Baker Act for 38 hours due to the potential risk of imminent harm she posed to herself, adding failing to take appropriate action would have been a breach of Dr. Bober's ethical and professional obligations. While Demore was at Memorial, her mother further petitioned to have her transported to a different facility under Florida's Marchman Act, claiming again in court records that Demore suffered from severe drug abuse. A judge granted that petition.
They ran the test. They knew that she had no drugs in her system and she was not abusing drugs. And the fact that you can't do anything about it is scary.
Demore was sent to this treatment center in Deerfield Beach, where Dr. Bober serves as medical director.
Where are the people that are supposed to protect me from this happening?
According to her lawsuit, Demore requested a hair follicle test at that facility called Life Skills, which detects drug use for at least the past 3 months, and which showed no drugs had been in Demore. Demore was held at Life Skills until April 8th. She shared discharge paperwork that lists a diagnosis of persistent depressive disorder, which she disputes. No medication prescribed.
Okay, y'all. So look, if anybody wants to come up, they can come up. I'll put the little link right here. So let's get back to it. So look, when you first hear that, you're like, oh my God, Desiree Perez is the devil, and you know, Rock Nation needs to crumble, all types of stuff. But apparently, when I kind of like said, okay, this can't just be it, right? Because I felt like it was more to it. So apparently, Desiree Perez's daughter's name is Demore, okay? And she is with a guy named Javon, right? I believe she was with him for like 15 years or whatever. Demore has been living with family and things like that, right? I mean, well, going over family house. They have a house, this and the third. Demore has been having a violent situation in her relationship, okay? And basically, he had been abusing her emotionally, verbally, and physically, all right? And at one point, Demore asked her mother, based on what Desiree Perez said, to install security cameras within her home. She was asked to help out and do so. So she did. And on the security camera footage, you actually see domestic violence being taken place. Okay? You have that going on. You actually have witnesses, family, actual family, you know, witnessing domestic violence, him putting his hands on her. He has been calling her bitches, dumb bitches, basically mad at her because I guess she messed up a meeting he was having, a big meeting that was a lot of money on the table, and I guess she ruined it in some way. So he was upset, and it sounded like he put his hands on her then. She had been basically bringing her mom in, like, honestly speaking, she was bringing her family into the domestic violence situation that she had going on. She was reaching out to her mom, right? Because at one point, she was reaching out to her mom, and she was like, oh, you got to make him stay. She wanted her, just like how she's accusing her of abusing her wealth and her status. She wanted her to abuse her wealth and her status to make her man stay with her, right? Because her man threatened to leave her and go stay with his parents, right? And basically she said, no, he can't do that. He can't leave me. Oh, it's going to be over, basically, right? And basically, you know, her mom is like, okay, it's not your fault, this, that, and the third. she's doing that, and then she's like, basically, it's like her family was coming to her mom, telling her like she's being beat on. She's actually texting her mom, talking about if he leaves, she's not going to be able to live. Basically, threatening suicide on herself. Things like that, right? So, as a concerned mom, what is she going to do? She going to sit there and call the police. She made police reports on this man, Javon, right? And basically, a lot of it was that it was let go, and it was dropped because you had Damari not cooperating. The actual victim is not cooperating. So, and it's the fact that Damari basically made it seem like she illegally obtained video footage, basically violate my privacy, this, that, and the third. So, what it sounds like is that, and I don't know, it just kind of sound like it's a retaliatory thing, because to be honest with you, if you're telling someone like your mother that everything about your relationship and basically it's chaotic, you're not thinking clearly, you're talking about offing yourself, you don't want him to leave you, and it's obvious that he's putting his hands on you and calling you stupid bitches and shit like that. And then the family comes to your mom and was like, oh, well, she's trying to get someone else's medication, pills, so she can overdose. I can see why her mom would call the psych ward on her, because she probably thinks she lost her mind, right? And most likely it's her being stigmatized, right? But in a nutshell, her and her man came together like Voltron and now wants to sue her mother, right? So now both of them is teaming up on her mother. And I don't know, but I'm going to do a reading. But what it sounds like to me is you have the Stockholm Syndrome. Now we're talking about buzzwords and trauma and things like that. You have this woman who is actively being abused psychologically, emotionally, and physically by her significant other, who is now turning against the same people who wanted to help her, right? It just sounds like to me that she's doing it because her man told her to do it. Because if you're going to stay with me, because I am the abusive person I am, I'm going to be vindictive. We're going to attack your mom. And guess what else we're going to do? We're going to bring it out to the public or whatever. Because initially they had a demand letter. They wanted money, right? Her man had just screamed at her and beat her ass because of a deal that she said, because of a deal that he said that she ruined in some type of way. And basically, so it's about money for me. I don't know, but I'm going to do a reading on this shit. Fuck it. So we're going to get true emotions, right? It's called True Emotional. Okay, so we're going to shuffle it real good because we just did. Was she dating Diddy? No. Damari is with, I forgot if they're married or if they're a long-term couple, but she's with a guy named Javon. Okay. Javon is currently, and then she came to the media and said that never happened. But then in the lawsuit, she's literally admitting to it happening. So she's telling the media one thing, and when you try it in the case of public opinion, she's using the whole Rock Nation is the devil, and all these things to the media to get the public to side with her. And then not only that, she's bringing up the fact that Desiree Perez was into the drug game, and then when she got locked up, she turned and snitched on people, and that's how she got out, right? So she's using that, right? Oh, it's a whole bunch of stuff, and she's trying to make her mom get a RICO. which is crazy, right? Because if your mom agreed with this man hurting you and didn't help you, then you wouldn't be trying to get her to get a RICO and actually serve fed time and sue her for money too. So that's what I'm getting from the lawsuit. Y'all gotta read this stuff. Y'all gotta go on Pacer, or y'all gotta get like YouTubers, content creators who's actually gonna read the whole thing. Matter of fact, before I even do anything, y'all gotta go to Conscious TV because he actually read all of it, right? So Conscious TV did 2 videos. The initial one was part 1, Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez sued by daughter for RICO. Then the second one is Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez bring receipts and exposes her daughter. So y'all got to go on Conscious TV and actually listen to both, and you'll see. And then he's very much so unbiased, you know, for real. So when you listen to both sides, you're like, wow, really? Really? And it's a sad thing because that's a mother trying to do as much as she can to get her daughter out of a domestic violence situation. But unfortunately, her daughter does not want to be saved. Now, here's the other part to it, right? Now, this is all I'm just saying based on what I'm seeing from the, from the court docs or whatever. And it's messed up because if she did not help her daughter, she's looking for a bag. She might, I think her, but here's the crazy part. Technically, Damari is Desiree Perez's heir. She was going to always get a bag. You know what I'm saying? She was going to always get a bag. She was going to get a bag while her mom was living, and she was going to get a bag when her mom passes away. Like, she's in the will, basically. And she was probably a trust fund baby. Desiree Perez got money. She don't need it. It's obvious that her man need it. But my whole thing is, what would have happened if Desiree Perez was not a concerned person trying to look out for her daughter? And mind you, it only takes one punch in the wrong place for you to become a vegetable. You know what I'm saying? For you to be, you can kill somebody fighting. You know what I'm saying? It just depends. Like, anything could be happening. You can, and mind you, we are hearing more and more about domestic violence, right? You've seen it with the Tory Lanez thing and the Megan Thee Stallion thing. And that probably triggered, and that's probably why Desiree Perez is on Megan Thee Stallion's side so hard, because it probably triggers her because her daughter is going through domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense, right? But we're hearing about domestic violence situations a lot, and a lot of them don't end well. So Desiree was telling her daughter, she was like, I'm scared for your life. I'm worried about you. Basically, you're telling your mom is finding out that nigga is punching you and kicking you and whatnot and mistreating you. How do you think your mom is supposed to feel about that? Apparently, right? Based on what I'm gathering from the lawsuit. But if she would have turned her back on her daughter and didn't help her, then the media would have been like, oh, Desiree Perez is a bad mom because she didn't help her own daughter out with her domestic violence. She's helping, and now she's still the bad guy. So it's like, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. But that's what I got from the paperwork part of it. But let's get the truth, right? So, and then the whole time, it's her daughter, no. Mia was what I was talking about the Pdiddy trial. Her daughter name is Damari. Okay? 2 different people. Mia is a white lady. Damari, she's Latino. She's Latin. But yeah, and she lives in Miami. But look, let's get it together. Oh yeah, and I think Desiree Perez used to work for Griselda Blanco. Girl. Not her working for the cocaine cowgirl herself. Let me see. But let me just ask this. true emotion, right? Why is Damari actually suing her mom? Why is she actually suing her? Ooh, that wanted to come out. It say fucked up over you. So, why is she actually suing her mother? Divine Feminine in the reverse. Ooh. Okay, so it's one or two things going on. I take that as in a toxic feminine, as in somebody's toxic, or somebody does not feel unheard, unseen, and doesn't feel like they're powerful enough. Under pressure, anxiety, decisions, time's running out. So she felt under pressure. So unheard, unseen, felt under pressure, and shady. It's a lie. So, and this is the police station in the reverse. So this is misuse. So it's all shady, and it's just coming from the fact that somebody didn't put pressure on this girl. And technically, unheard, unseen abuse. Being abused and under pressure. So I'm going to do something shady to fix the situation. The Jezebel spirit again. Why does Jezebel just keep coming out of this motherfucker? Jezebel just all over the music industry, just fucking it all up. Let me go ahead and figure out. Okay, so is Damari's husband, boyfriend, is he the reason? Ooh, let me fix these cards. Is he the reason why Damari is going after her mother, Desiree Perez? Is he the reason? One, 2, 3. Has he influenced her to do so? I miss you. Twin flames. Ooh. Side hustle. Okay. This is not one to be apart, okay? So, remember I told y'all, like, Desiree had went to her mom, texting her mom. At one point, this man wanted to leave her, okay? And she was begging her mom to employ tactics, right? To get this man to stay with her, okay? And basically, I feel like at some point after everything happened, after he got locked up and or whatever the case may be, he wanted to stop talking to her. And she reached back out. She didn't want to be away from this man. She feels like this man is her twin flame. Okay? And to be honest, he doesn't make a lot of money like a Desiree Perez. He knows that he can't take care of her like her mama could take care of her. So he wants to be the man, but he wants to do it in a different way. He wants to take from her mom in a way. And he feels like if she got it, I got it. That's my money. That's my money too. Because we're suing her jointly. So this is like a hustle. It really says side hustle. It's a hustle for him. So yes, in order for him to stay with her, she was going to have to do the unthinkable, like turn against her mom. And that's what she did. Secrets. Because her secrets was because his secrets was exposed. His secrets. He had more the problem with being seen on video punching her and hitting her than she did being hit, because it was actually him doing it. He felt emasculated. And he felt like he can't do nothing within his own home. He didn't feel like a man, right? Because even with this side hustle working for Uber Eats, a lot of times, you know, compared to somebody, that's how he feels compared to a Desiree Perez, who's the CEO of Rock Nation. Whatever he's doing, it's like working for Uber Eats and whatever. I mean, it's not, I mean, how can I compare to something like that? So he feels less of a man. That's why he was beating on her. And that's why he was saying stuff like, oh, you know, your mom called you a stupid bitch, a dumb bitch, or whatever the case may be. So I'm like, oh, so basically you're trying to use her mom as a means to tear her down. So that's what you're doing. But people like that, those are men who are jealous. So technically what it sounds like is you're jealous of her mom. And so what you're going to do to knock her down a peg or two is that you're going to use her mom in a way to destroy her and then to break down the relationship with her mom. Because a lot of times people who know they do wrong, they want to isolate you. And so he knows for a fact that her mom, that too, he is using her. But he knows for a fact that, you know, her mom holds value to her and her mom is capable of stopping him from downing her and hurting her, right? So what do? You turn the daughter against her mama, right? Crazy. So let's do this. Let's ask about their relationship, right? Because that's what I'm getting from all that. Let's use the love and money oracle. Let's ask about Damari and Javon's relationship, because it ain't even, because what it seems like, based on what I'm reading and what I'm picking up, to be honest, they only threw Jay-Z in there because he's part of Rock Nation. Okay, that's why. All right, but honestly, she better wake up and smell the coffee. She should, because it only take one hit. Now this is where I wake up at, because I don't like abuse. Right? If everything is consensual, that's cool. But when you start putting your hands on people and verbally demeaning them and emotionally breaking them down, you're fucked up. You are. So it only takes one hit. Yeah, and remove her. Yes. But here's the thing though, too. Now here's what Desiree Perez messed up at, right? Now, even though it's understandable that she is a mother who's witnessing her daughter, who she loves and who she probably spoiled because she had some money for a long time. So her daughter is probably fucking spoiled, okay? And actually loved and, you know, whatever. Got anything she wanted, probably, on some real stuff. But you hear your daughter, and then it's not just that, you know, it's that your family is coming to you too, witnessing this. And then you see it on footage too, based on what was given to you. Allegedly people from the family was giving her the actual recordings of Damari being abused. What is she supposed to do? If you was a mom, what are you supposed to do, right? But here's where she messed up at. The problem is domestic violence victims have to do this have to come to the decision to leave, right? They're not ready to leave. You can't do nothing. Matter of fact, they're gonna hate you. Okay, you can't do nothing, right? They're not gonna listen to you. Matter of fact, they just want you to listen to them and do nothing about it, right? That's why if you have a friend going through domestic violence, you can tell them, I'm gonna always be a listening ear for you, this, that, and the third. However, you know, when you're ready, let me know, and then yeah. But if they ain't ready and you jump yourself out there, you're going to lose your friendship with that person, because the abuser is going to separate you from that person because they don't want you to wake them up and they leave. You know what I'm saying? So, give me the energy of Damari and Javon's relationship. Give me energy surrounding the relationship. 1, 2, 3. And then to make it so bad, the media was painting her out to be this messed up person who's abusing her power. But I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, most families go after the man and set him up to whip his butt. Yeah, but you got somebody with money, right? So, mind you, she's only reacting to what her daughter is presenting her with and what her family is presenting her with. That's what she's saying. And her daughter actually lied to the public and made it seem like there was no reason at all why her mom called the psych ward on her. And there was nothing, there was no violence being taken place. But then all of a sudden, you see the videos, she tried to say it was AI, right? She tried to tell the public it was AI and it was just another ploy from Rock Nation. But the whole time you look at the lawsuit and she's admitting to the domestic violence in the lawsuit. But she said it was the video was obtained by illegal means, as in like you had a camera, a hidden camera against my knowledge, without my knowledge in my home. But really, she's the one that told her mom that she wanted cameras in the home. She was lying to the public. So that's another thing. That's manipulative. That's a Jezebel spirit. That's manipulative. That's manipulation. And because people don't like Rock Nation or Desiree Perez, they're just going to immediately believe it or whatever. But really, this is just a mom trying to do whatever she can to get her daughter out of a domestic violence situation, till she highly believes that her daughter is going to be, some severe harm is going to come to her daughter. Till she was literally, because they literally have text messages out too, and she was telling her daughter, I feel like I'm scared for you, I'm worried for you. You know, I feel like something bad is going to happen to you. Where's the father? I don't know, but the grandparents. Now, that was the other thing. She was at the grandparents' house with that man, and he was jumping on her in front of her grandparents. And her grandparents was trying to break it up. So you done sat there and traumatized your grandparents over this man. So give me the energy surrounding Damari and Javon's relationship. 1, 2, 3. Promotion channel. Destiny. And this distraction in the reverse. Oh, wow. Oh, so they in love right now. Oh, it's them against the motherfucking world, huh? Oh, they moving forward. They around here thinking that everything is, it's them riding into the sunset for me. Us against the world. Yeah, we've been through stuff. And then it's still twin flames in the reverse. This is toxic shit. This is toxic. Her mama should have never jumped into that. But her mama don't know. This is something they gotta play the fuck out. It's her against the world. It's them against the world right now. Even if he beat her, it is them against the world. Crazy word. How does Javon feel about Desiree Perez? What's his true feelings about Desiree Perez? One, two, three. illuminations, truth, discovery, awakening. He feels like she wants somebody to open their eyes. He also feels like him and Desiree Perez's daughter is going to run away together, and they're turning their backs on her. Sex addiction in the reverse. What is that? Round and round cycles, triggers, lessons. So it's a constant thing. But who has the sex addiction? Who's addicted to something? Well, it's right beside them running. The motherfuckers is addicted to each other. He's addicted to Damari, and Damari's addicted to him. He knows what is given, right? He doesn't want Damari to be enlightened because they're addicted to each other and they want to run away together, right? And this is just the whole cycle that keeps going. He knows that her mom is Queen Bee. Her mom is the authority. And her mom rejected him. So he has a problem with that. Talks about a trickster, phony trickster illusions, mirroring, and toxic lifestyle. Well, he knows that her mom knows that he ain't shit. He knows that her mom is like reacting, but also Damari and him is mirroring each other, and I think they get tore up too. They I don't know, y'all. This is a mess. He doesn't want the mom to be able to find them, know their whereabouts, be around them. He wants to do whatever he wants to do in peace. Wow. He wants to do what he wants to do in peace. That's crazy as hell, y'all. That's sad for her. I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her as a mother. Okay? I feel bad for the fact that, you know, you want the best for your kids. You want your child to be able to basically live a healthy life, and if they're going to find a significant other, they can come together and build peacefully and create and live a beautiful existence. But when you see this, it breaks your heart as a mother. But again, you can't save nobody who don't want to be saved, and it's obvious that her daughter love it here, love it there with that guy Javon. She loves it there. She doesn't want him to leave her. Okay? She has an unhealthy attachment to him. And the mom just got to let go and let her find out on her own. Sometimes you got to let people find out. And when they do find out, her mom should be, waiting on her to give her a hug, and she can tell her, oh, Mama, it hurt me so bad. And just listen to her and accept her and help her heal. That's the best she can do. But this right here is too much. So, is this case going to be dropped real quick? Because she's trying to get her mom into a whole RICO charge and stuff just because her mom took those steps. Is this case going to go all the way? 1, 2, 3. The 9 of Wands. The Star. I don't think so. I think no. But it's a mental fuck. The 3 of Pentacles is in the reverse, is in the future. So I don't think so. It might get dropped, y'all. It's a good chance that this case might get dropped. So that's what I got for y'all. Hopefully they family disputes and stuff is crazy. But that's what I got, y'all. Hopefully things go well. Hopefully she can reconcile with her daughter and her daughter can see the light and understand what abuse is and get away from abuse. So that's what I got for y'all. I love y'all for real. And I'm gone because I know it's late. So peace.